Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Anytime we want to do anything to improve ourselves, maybe it's heal from something, maybe it's just a goal, New Year's resolution. It's all about the intention you put into it. The intent is the game changer. I know it sounds kind of rhetorical. I know it sounds kind of simple, but that's what works. And we're going to talk to somebody that helps people with that all the time in different capacities. She's an author, a speaker, transformational teacher and coach, and she's with Your Inspired Life, and she's back here to inspire us. Inge Maskun joins us on the program. Welcome back.
Thank you, Steve. Pleasure to be here with you again.
Wonderful to have
and
you back
Happy New
here.
Year.
And Happy New Year. Yeah, this whole intention thing, I'm hearing that word come up more and more. And it even happened recently where I struggle with meditation. And somebody told me, well, it's great to just clear your mind and see what comes up. But more times than not, if you want the meditation to be effective, they told me that you really need to set an intention, a goal for the meditation. That's just one situation where that word comes up. But why is intention so important in the spiritual world?
Okay. The easy way to say will be, if I want to go, I live in Minnesota. If I want to go to New York, I really have to know where in New York I want to land. New York City, or in New York City, even New York City is a big space. Where is it? Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn? Exactly. That intention to me. Because without that, even the most sophisticated GPS won't be able to take me there. That's intention. Now, we're talking about and looking at 2024. There's got to be something that we dream, we intend to accomplish or to enjoy, to reap the work or the result at the end of this year. If we don't create it, don't set the intention, it will be challenging to get there or to achieve it.
Okay. How do we set an intention?
From my point of view as a dream builder coach, I always ask the question, what would you love? What would you love? If everything is perfect for you, maybe the word perfect is not the right one. If your life brings you joy, you truly love this life, where you can freely give, where you want to give, help somebody, create something, grow and make yourself better, what would you love? What would you love to be? What would you love to do, to create, to have, to share, to give? Start there. It's actually very simple, the question.
I guess it's also the payoff, because I often hear too, if you're going to any habit that's formed, and a lot of this is, habitual, the intent that you have, let's say, meditation. Well, got to make a habit of meditating, but habits don't happen, as I understand it, unless there is a benefit, something gained from it, right?
Perfect. That's perfect, Steve. Because here's the thing, we are trained by life, through school, through upbringing, want something. Because we hear that go to school, go as high as possible. Why is that? Because you're going to, much easier to find a job, to find what you want. And so then we actually have a picture in mind. Yeah, go as far as possible. Just go to school, get that degree. But we don't think about what is it that degree is going to help us do or help the greater good. So some people may say, and I'm sure you've heard this, why, they ask, what is it about that makes you really want to do it? What is the benefit? sometimes the benefit is not just for us. That's first and foremost for most people. The reason I do this is to benefit me. That is good. That's not wrong. What else after that? Because if you are happy, if you're enjoy your life, there will be a benefit for other people around you. That ripple effect is going to make it much further expansion, and that will make you much happier.
Would you say that for the best outcome in all of this, there needs to be an intent put in for the greater good? Like, for example, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to make a lot. I'm going because I want to get an occupation where I can make lots of money. I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to make lots of money. So, which is fine. That's fine. You know, you're compensated for something that you offer, which is the way the universe works. But if you leave it there, as opposed to saying, I'm going to be an attorney, I'm going to make lots of money, and I'm going to help people have a positive outcome when they're legally right. Now it's more of a greater good. Does that elevate the whole situation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not only elevating the whole thing, Steve, because there's always going to be challenge in life, right? I want A. I like A. I love it. In the process, and then you reach A, and then what's next? And then you work as an A. You get a lot of money, and then you feel that, why am I not happy? Because you didn't expand that thing, like you said. What is it, the goodness here? Now I'm a good lawyer. I make a lot of money, like you said. It is okay. It is good to make a lot of money. But then what after that? Because when the work becomes hard, what is your lifeline? What is the hook that keeps you stay there and say, this is the reason I'm doing this. This is the reason I work until late. I got a lot of money, but there is something bigger than that. I remember a senator. It's actually John McCain. I love this quote. And he said, it is liberating to work or fight for a cause greater than yourself.
How do you identify that it's greater than yourself?
This is interesting. You can spend time with yourself because we are energy being. We just don't spend enough time allowing ourselves to be with us, to really listen to the intuition, the deeper sound, the voice from within. Because if we ask that question, what is my purpose here? What can I do to be here, to make this life enjoyable and happy also for those I touch? You're going to get the idea.
Interesting. It puts a lot of this into perspective. And why maybe sometimes we manifest things, but they don't materialize because we're not looking at it that way. And maybe the intent. Like I believe you said before, the way you phrased it, I want this, I want that. In manifesting, I know we're pivoting here a little bit away from intention, but
sure,
intention's got to be there if you manifest something. Is it reasonable to believe that if you say I want this, you're coming from a place of lack because you don't have it, and now it's technically negative in a small way, but to reframe it, I deserve to have blank, or I am having that. That's coming my way. I know it's coming my way.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting that you phrase it that way. Perfect, actually, Steve, because intention is the start. But to read or to bring it into reality, there is another thing that must happen that a lot of us overlook. This is actually, I would say this is the law of nature. This is physics, actually. We have all heard about the law of attraction, correct?
Sure.
So as if I've heard about it for a long time, and I thought, I was confused for a while and say, well, I already intending to do that. I want that. Why is it not coming to me? So I got frustrated after that because I thought I had implemented everything that I learned. Why is it the result not manifest as what I wanted it? One thing that we missed. The intention could be good, but then what is after that we unconsciously doing?
Can I
Usually,
take it? Can I take a shot at that?
yes.
Truly believing it.
One, truly believing, true. What else that usually stop people or slow people down from achieving, bringing things into reality, what they love? What usually stop people either doing or diverted totally? What usually happens?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm thinking, let it go and don't worry about it, because a lot of us, "Well,
Yeah.
when is it gonna show up?" Just let it
Yeah.
go and trust in the universe. But I'm not sure. What am I missing?
See, that is another thing. Many things happen because we, as a physical being, a spiritual being that is actually navigating this physical world, we live our life relying so much on our five senses. What we see, what we hear, what we can touch. And I said, oh, yeah, I believe you because I see it in person. So it's very difficult for us to believe something if we don't see it. Now, because we only see this, what we live, what we are around, if we say, I want to go to New York, and then halfway up to New Jersey, a blizzard. And then I say, oh my gosh, so I guess I guess I cannot go. I cannot reach New York. What if I this? And then many things happens. And then people start saying, no, you don't go to New York because I think that is blocked. You have to just go south and then you divert it. All these things sometimes and oftentimes looks very logical. It makes sense. So we believe it. But to me, these are all circumstances in life. Oh, my family got sick, so now I cannot do that. Oh, my car broke down. But a lot of things sometimes in the mind is because what you mentioned before, Steve, you don't believe in yourself enough. You don't feel that you deserve of what you love. You don't feel enough.
Hmm.
All can be lumped in one word: fear.
The biggest belief that many of us have, actually misbelief, is that we are not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that even might go back to what I said, that we need to believe that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's easy to say, yeah, I'm getting that new car. That Tesla is going to be mine. It's going to be the more advanced model. I can see myself driving down the road. I can smell the leather. I don't have enough money for it, but it's going to happen.
Mm.
But to believe it is going to happen, even though there may be times where you come from a belief of not good enough. The Tesla
Mm-hmm.
example I gave, by the way, I know somebody who did it. She couldn't
Mm.
afford that car. And in
Mm.
6 months, she had
Mm.
that car cash.
There you go.
And I believe her. She's a
Yes.
very, very spiritual person. She goes, I don't know how this works, but it
Yes.
worked. It worked.
There you go. There you go.
Funny, I'll share this, and it's on a much smaller scale. But at my studio here, where the camera is located, I wanted it on a certain tripod. I wanted to, move it a little bit closer. I wasn't happy where it was set up. So I had some pieces around here. I'm kind of geeky, resourceful. I fashioned something. Works fine. I go home. Now, again, I'm thinking about it. I wish I had a certain tripod. Can't be too high.
Mm.
Next day, I'm walking my dog. I pass by the garbage of a neighbor. There's the tripod that I was
Mm.
asking for. perfect condition. I guess they were just
Mm-hmm.
moving and they needed to get rid of it. Picked it up, took it into the office. But I'm talking like exact. If I went on
Yes,
Amazon, to me, I may have been manifesting it, and it showed up.
absolutely. Now, what do you think when you manifest that? As you are thinking about it at home, oh, I want it this way. What do you think that you tune into for from you left your work, your office to home, and then thinking about it until the next day? What do you think that you focused yourself on?
That's going to happen. Either
There you go.
either I'm going to buy it or I'm going to make my own. Which
Right.
a lot in my studio. I do. I've been doing it literally since I was 9 years old. And that's where it all
Uh-huh.
started. I just,
Uh-huh.
you need it, you create it, no problemo.
Right. Right.
But I believe that, yeah, I need it and it's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Now, you believe it enough. The belief usually comes because you know this is important. I feel good. If this can be elevated a little bit, I'm going to be, well, for whatever reason, you know for sure that this going to be better. So your mind is there. So here is the key, Steve. The law of attraction only happens to me if we are in action. The second, we must be in tune with that. So the law of attraction is the second law. There is another law prior to that many of us didn't know about it before. I didn't know it. It's called the law of vibration. So our intention is usually good. This is what I want. And then without realizing it, for the next 24 hours after we set the intention, our mind is on, do I really believe I can do that? I haven't done it. I don't have the education for that. Do I have the time? So on and on and on. So we are vibrating not in alignment with what we truly want. And this is what is happening now. This is what manifests. In your case with the tripod, you know it's going to be better if I can elevate this a little bit. How I'm going to find it, I don't know. I can buy it. I don't know, but your mind is there. And boom, the universe rush that to you, to your aid and say, hey, that's a new one. It's a still good one. Somebody threw it there or don't need it, doesn't need it anymore. There you
Yep.
go.
And it's funny as you say that, and I think back to when I was 10 years old, 12 years old, single mom, didn't have any money, wanted to be in broadcasting, wanted to be a DJ. So I'm thinking that I'm doing that. That's what I want. And I taught myself electronics and built myself a mixer so that I could, and I would borrow my sister's turntable when she wasn't looking, so I'd have two. And I would create tapes that way. And I got my first job at 17. But it's only because I truly believe I manifested. It's going to happen. I got to find a way to do that. I'm not buying a mixer, can't afford one or even close to it. I'm going to make one. That's what I'm going to do.
Yes.
I'll figure it out.
There you go.
And I figured it out.
Where did it come from, do you think, Steve? Is it your mom? Very encouraging kind of person and let you to be creative?
Yeah. And she would also say, just do your best, whatever it is, just do your best at it. But she was very encouraging. In fact, when I first got that job, and I stayed there for almost 30 years. It was a big job. It was a big station, especially for a kid who didn't really know much. She would drive me after school, didn't have a license, every day, drop me off, wait till I was done, pick me up, back to school tomorrow. And then, so she was definitely encouraging. But it was just a belief. Like I didn't have a doubt. It was going to happen. So, and I didn't think of it that way. I think when we're kids, it's easier to manifest because there's less logic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kids are with the imagination is perfect. This is my dream to actually bring what I learn and benefit from to schools, to young people. Because when they are still in that space of everything is possible, it's much easier to help them to maintain that and grow it so that when they are our age, they're not going to be bombarded with a lot of history of failures or experiences looking at people that said, that's not possible. That will be wonderful. These things I said should be in every classroom.
I agree.
This thing about
Why not?
why not?
Why
Yes.
not?
Why not?
In the last couple of moments we have left, we're talking about intention. What are some other areas where we can set an intention for a favorable outcome?
That is a question we must ask ourselves. What would I love? What area of my life right now that I truly want to improve? Two things, actually, I guided my clients usually say, what are you longing for in life? Ask that question. I was never taught that. What are you discontent with at the moment in life? And just remove yourself and be okay with that and say, not because I'm wrong, it's okay to feel discontent because these two, longing and discontent, are life giving us signs that you're ready to grow. That's why you notice that this thing no longer serves you. So I want to notice that. Those are great news if we are aware of those two. So that we can actually say, okay, if I'm longing this, and this is in the area of relationships, for instance, then I'm going to say, if this longing is gone, what would my life be? This then become your dream or your vision. Start there. That's your intention.
We can easily identify many things that are lacking in our lives. Why is it, do you feel, that we may think we're manifesting it and we're doing our best to bring it to us? Why does it not show up sometimes or not? I mean, it's all on universal time.
Right.
But if we think, yeah, it should be I should have had that by now. Been years.
Yeah.
Why do you think
that? It goes back to that vibration. So because this is very destructive. Life situations, conditions, circumstances, these are all facts of life. We cannot deny them.
Right.
Now, but as human, difficult for us to remove ourselves from that. That's the reason we require somebody who is not in that situation to be able to help the person and say, this is how I see it, that you are dwelling in that. Because as the person on the field, we can't see it. That's why there is a coach that is not on the field. The coach is outside and can see and then can give input and say this and that. Not because the player is wrong, but the player is in it.
You're in the trenches. You can't see everything around you, and there could be opportunity floating right there. But the coach is going to say, hey, you really should, head over to that side of the field, or maybe that side of the life, maybe your life, maybe look at it a different way where you're not seeing it. You're too in the thick of it.
Yeah. I personally believe, Steve, now that I've done this long enough and implemented in my own life, I truly believe every one of us, no exception. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your condition now. Every one of us can achieve and live the life we love. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have them already. The way to do it is already here, but we're unaware that it's available. That's all.
And unaware sometimes of the right way to do it. Like we said before, instead of saying, I really want this, well, again, it's coming from a place of lack, which is negative. And this is all about the positive vibration. Inge, how does somebody connect with you if they want to talk about this more? Maybe look at some coaching, manifesting their perfect inspired life. How do they find you?
Go to my website, www.owningmyfuture.com. There is a contact button there. Drop me a note. Let's set up a one-on-one, complimentary.
Yeah.
Here's my message. If you listen to this or recording, whatever, and you have an inkling and say, ooh, that sounds, take that action. Don't deny, don't push it away, because that is the moment you must take action. Just let go of, oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the money. Can I coach with this person? That is later. But answer this thing, the calling that say, ooh, I want it. Go to my website, click that, contact me. Let's meet. Let's talk.
That's the first step. You got to take the first step, and there's no loss except for a few minutes on the phone or Zoom or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go along here, learning from you just now in the last half hour or so, things that we should set the intention for to manifest the life we want. It's there. It's waiting.
Yes. Waiting. That life. That's correct, Steve.
Yeah.
Everything we want is already there waiting for us. Yes.
And we deserve it. That's the other part.
Yes.
I think we
missed. Absolutely.
Thank you so much for joining us. I truly appreciate you, and love talking with you, and look forward next time we do.
Yes. Thank you. Happy brand new year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Manifest what you want. Bring it to you.
Absolutely.
All right. Positive vibes, and we'll talk soon. We're coming right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.